Dragon Ball Daima episode 19, incredible episode. It should be titled the Vegeta episode because this episode of Vegeta fans definitely got a big treat. We pretty much got adult Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, and we also got adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku in Dragon Ball Daima episode 19. This episode pretty much starts off from where episode 18 cliffhanger of Glorio making his wish. So his wish was to turn everyone back to their original adult forms. So pretty much now we got everyone back to their regular self in the cast. And at this point, a lot of big revelations happen in this episode. Well, for one, we realized they were super nerfed. Like, we knew they was nerfed as kids, but just imagine how much nerf they was. We got pretty much Vegeta, who starts to fight Goma, and he starts to fight him in his base form and is doing better than even a Super Saiyan 3 and 4 Goku. Just imagine how powerful Vegeta is now in this state. And the thing in this fight is that we see, Vegeta, as he starts to fight him, he ends up transforming into Super Saiyan 3 while flying, and it was a great animation, great transformation. You have to see the episode just for us to describe how beautiful these things look. Now, Vegeta goes on and start kicking Goma's ass all over the place, but the thing is, Vegeta is losing stamina, and also is even referenced that they haven't fully recovered because everyone's like they should jump in, but they wanted to fight one-on-one in this fight. But the thing is, everyone still, even though they reverted back to being adults, they're still out of stamina from their previous match against Goma. So even though Vegeta's still not really fighting at full power because they don't have as much stamina left from when they fought Goma previously. So this just shows how powerful these characters are, but it does cause some changes because now when it goes back to power scaling, characters like Majin Du and Majin Ku, comparing, Majin Du fight to, Tamagami 1 and Goku's fight with the Tamagamis, now things are seeing a little bit different when it comes to the reference of the power scaling about them being in their adult forms. Now, even though they're nerfed, they are stronger than what they were back in the Buu arc. So I would say they probably became as strong as they were back during the Buu arc when they became kids. And them being adult is way more powerful than when they was back in the fight with Majin Buu. So I think that's just my headcanon of trying to calculate how strong they are in Dragon Ball Daima. Now, they could be a little bit more stronger than what they was back in the Buu arc, but right now, all that is headcanon right now. But we know they was definitely nerfed, and we're seeing that right now. So Vegeta is pretty much losing stamina, and they realize Goma's keep on getting bailed out by that third eye. That third eye has been bailing him out, and he would have been defeated 1,000 times over, but it keeps growing him strong. Now, Goma doesn't really know how to use the third eye's power that well because this is his first time using it, so he's not really a master at using the third eye. So every time he does get in trouble, it starts to power up and get stronger, and he gets bigger and bigger. So now he got even bigger after Vegeta launches a giant final flash on him, and he comes back out even bigger than before. And now Vegeta reverts back to his base form, but still deciding he wants to fight. But they realize they're still trying to figure out a way to stop him. Now, at this point, we also go to Dr. Arinsu and Glorio having a moment, and pretty much, Dr. Arinsu feels betrayed by Glorio and pretty much say he's fired, but she understands that they need this to get Goma out the way. And at the same time, she decides to find a spell to figure out how to stop Goma. And at this point, Majin Ku steps in and reads the magical book, and he kind of could speed through it real fast. But the thing is, they end up finding this, and then they find out like the weakness is to pretty much hit Goma in the back of the head real hard 3 times. Now they have to figure out this way, but they're trying to find a way to get Vegeta to stop fighting because he's not going to want anyone to join in. But Bulma steps in and says something that you got to watch the episode to see what she says to Vegeta to get him to stop fighting. He comes immediately. So that was a good moment. And at this point, Goku decides to step in. Goku does a reference back to Majin Buu fight with Fat Buu, where he demonstrates all the Super Saiyan, which was cool animation to see him go for 1, 2, and 3, and then he says a bonus and turns into Super Saiyan 4. And the episode kind of stops at this point. The next time we kind of get that battle between Super Saiyan 4 and adult form versus Goma. Now, we're probably going to still get the fusion bugs inactive in this final episode of episode 20, and probably the climax of everything, and everything's going to end, and probably going to get an explanation of what happened to Super Saiyan 4 during Dragon Ball Super, whether they're going to be rumors of memory loss, or maybe the power is only able to be active or going with, Neva's magic in the demon realm. There's so many different speculations of what's going to happen, so we definitely can't wait to see the next episode to see what's going to happen. And the other thing I want to say about this episode and everything that happened, by seeing them how powerful these characters are, and one thing I wish to see in Dragon Ball Daima, which is too late now, it may not be too late because we have one episode left, but I wish they would have showed Goma use some of his magic abilities before he got the third eye, to see why, a character like Dr. Arinsu or even Degasu, these characters was afraid to challenge Goma himself in his regular state and not with the third eye, just to see what kind of magical abilities he can perform. And that would have been okay to see something like that, but we're not going to never really know how powerful Goma really was without the third eye and what type of magical abilities that he can do. I always just look at him as like a reference between a fusion of pretty much Babidi mixed with Pilaf. You put both of them together and you pretty much got Goma. That's just like his type of character type that we kind of get when we look at a character like that. But like I said, ultimately I wish we could have seen Goma use some of his abilities before he got the third eye, just to be able to gauge how powerful he is without it. But at this rate, it don't look like we're going to get that. But most likely, definitely next episode, we're going to get a fusion. And who knows? Maybe we might get, Goku and Glorio fused together, and they end up making something look like, Mira from Dragon Ball Heroes in his transformation state. And there's been a lot of fan animations and speculations of that as well. And that could be like a big tribute to be something similar to that, where it looked like a Super Saiyan 4 mixed with a demon, and get like a demonic Super Saiyan 4 transformation, something like that. Who knows? And that'll be the thing to defeat Goma, which is a big possibility that we can probably still get something like that to happen. But ultimately, you got to watch the episode because it was action-packed. 70% of the episode was all Vegeta and his fight with Goma, and that was definitely a good treat to watch. Well, how would I rate this compared to episode 18? I mean, I like both episodes, and I feel like episode 18 was Goku's chance to shine. Now, this one was giving Vegeta a chance to shine, and there was definitely a lot of big moments in this episode. It's kind of really hard. I mean, episode 18 was big because of seeing Super Saiyan 4 show up for the first time in Dragon Ball Daima. That was like a big moment. But also, in this moment, they had a lot of cool scenes in this episode. So, episode 18 may be a little bit above, but episode 19 is still an incredible episode, and I'm hoping episode 20 is just as incredible as these last two episodes, which definitely drew a lot of hype around Dragon Ball Daima. So if you haven't watched Dragon Ball Daima, you better just get on it now if you don't want to be spoiled for the end, because like I said, a lot of stuff's going to happen. And like I said, the internet is going to be posting so much stuff. Even if you see this episode, everything is being spoiled all over the internet right now. So definitely try to catch up and see what's going on. And we got a lot more videos coming soon to talk about this episode and a lot more things that happened in this episode. But this is my review of episode 19. It's a great episode, and definitely can't wait for episode 20. And I'm out.